Shabbat, there's a general isur of cooking on Shabbat. I just want to explain that when we talk about cooking, we don't only mean actually cooking. Now let me explain what that means. There's a lot of different ways to prepare food. There's something called baking. You put something in an oven without any water, without any liquid. You just dry heat, causing something, preparing it to be eaten in a better way. That's what's called baking. Cooking is really when you use water together with heat, hot water, and the hot water cooks whatever you're using and makes it better or tastier, whatever the situation is. That's called cooking. So we have baking, we have cooking. We know there's something else called roasting. Roasting is where you have some type of meat or something like that. You're putting it over a fire, again, not necessarily with liquid. Usually it has some sort of liquid, but it's on an open fire, a different sort of baking, and it's called roasting. You have something else called deep frying, where you have boiling oil. It's not quite water, it's oil. So you're cooking with oil. That's called tigun in halakha, deep frying. Different types of cooking and baking. Halakha says, when we say asur on Shabbat to cook, it doesn't only mean cooking with water the way we simply say putting it in a pot with water and cooking it on a fire. Of course, it includes all the different types of cooking. Every single one is included in the isur of cooking on Shabbat. Interestingly enough, if you take water and you heat water up, one might have said, maybe that's not considered cooking because water, you're able to drink it without cooking. You can drink cold water, we're drinking water all the time. Perhaps that's not called cooking, you're just heating up the water. It was able to be drinking even without that. And the answer is no. As long as through the heating up, through this cooking, it's better, it tastes better. Why are you heating up the water? Because you want to use it. You want to use it hot instead of just cold. So that's called the act of bishul on Shabbat, because this is what you want. You're trying to do something on Shabbat, and that's also asur. The point is, any sort of cooking, it doesn't have to be specifically cooking. It's baking, cooking, roasting, deep frying. Any sort of type of cooking and baking and whatever it is all asur on Shabbat. B'mezid, one who does it is chayav, of course, the very stringent halakha of skila, which is a penalty of death in Bezdin. And if he does it b'shogeg, when the time comes to the Beis HaMikdash, we'll have to bring a korban chatat. We have to be careful. Now, B'ezrat Hashem will be learning all the laws, the different type of situations where maybe it may be mutar to cook these things on Shabbat because it was already cooked and things like that. B'ezrat Hashem will come, the halachot are coming.